Hi guys, so we are going to be creating this card interaction design in Figma. It is pretty simple, just follow the process. Without further ado, let's start designing. So the first thing we are going to do is to create a frame. Click F. The size of my own frame is 352 by 390. Now I'm going to give it a fill color of light gray. That's fine. Then I'm going to give it all the corners. I'm going to give it 24 px corner radius. Done. Then I'm going to go to my plugins to pick the image I want to use. Since I'm creating cards for different beach, I'm going to go for this. You see that I did not select the frame while dumping the image on the canvas because I do not want the image to be directly inside the frame. And reason being that once I select this, and let me show you, and I selected the image here, you can see there's no way I can actually access the image. The image will be together with the frame and that's not what we want. So now I'm going to select this image, cut, and I'm going to paste inside this image inside the frame rather. I'm going to inside the frame. So I'm going to adjust the image, align it to center horizontal and align it to center vertical. Then again, I'm going to rename the frame to be card. I'm going to duplicate this by holding Alt and drag it out. Now I'm going to rename this to be card shadow. I'm going to reduce the height of the card shadow by 20 by value of 20. That's minus 20. Then I'm going to apply an effect which is layer blur. You can use between 100 and 120, but I will stick to use 120. Then I'm going to select this card shadow and send it to the back. Then I will select card shadow and the card together, and I will align them, align horizontal center. I'll pick the card shadow and make sure it align at the bottom of the card. Now I'm going to select the two and turn them to be a frame. I'll click on frame selection. Now I'm going to be adding a rectangle. I'm going to be adding a rectangle inside this card frame. Your rectangle can be of any height. So let me stick to 180. So I'm going to be applying a linear gradient to this rectangle. So my first color swatch, I'm going to be picking it from here. And the second one, I'm going to use the same color again, but I will reduce the opacity to 0 here. Then I will switch them like this. So now I'm going to copy the text I want to apply, that I want to paste inside this frame. Then I will dump it inside this frame. So I will adjust accordingly. So now I have the frame. Now I've turned it to be a frame. Then I will rename it accordingly. Mosarata. Done. So now what I want to do is to apply a constraint. So in case we are moving this thing, this image and the text will definitely align accordingly. So I'm going to, while selecting the Mosarata frame, I'm going to press enter. Then I'm going to apply a left and right constraint, and also I'm going to apply a top and bottom constraint. Then while still selecting the card and card shadow, I'm going to hit end. Now I'm going to apply centered and center. And reason being that now if we select our Maserati frame and expand, you can see the way this thing expand, and every other element are in the center of the frame where they are originally. So after we've created our first card, which is Musarata, now we're going to duplicate it. And how do we duplicate? By holding Alt and Shift to be on the same line. Now what we are going to do is to adjust the width and the height of this second card. So now we are going to be dividing the width by 2, and we are going to be removing 30, value of 30 from the height too. So now we are going to hold on the body text, and we are going to nudge it down till it's out of the frame. Then we are going to set the opacity to 0, and also this rectangle, which is the overlay, rename it to be overlay. So we are going to select the rectangle and make sure it touch the edge of the frame. And also here we are going to select the card shadow and make sure the opacity is 0. So after that, we are going to select the heading text and rotate it by 90 degree. Then we are going to move it on the which on the XY axis. Hold on. I'm going to rotate it on the, oh my goodness. We are going to move it on the Y axis by 30 by 20 px. So this is Y axis. To go up, we are going to, let me see, plus 30 first. No, we are going to minus 30 to go up, minus 30. So that's minus 30. Then we are going to change the name to the second beach that we want, which is Kokum Beach. We are going to select the pixels, the 2 pixels, and go to our plugins again. Then we are going to look for another picture for beach. So let's use this. Selected, then adjust the image again. So once we are done with that, then we are going to duplicate this thing 2 more times. Again, we are going to change the name to the preferred beach we want. We want Ilashed here, and this one I want landmark. Then again, I will open this and select the pixels photo, the 2 pixels photo respectively, the one in the card and the one in the card shadow. Then I'm going to right click again and go to my plugins, go to pixels, then again beach. Then I'll select another image for beach. So I'll use this. Again, I will center the image. While the last one, I'll select the image too. Right click, beach. Then I think I will use this. Okay. So we are done for the 4 card. So the first thing we want to do, automatically the auto layout will be applied, and we are going to center all the elements in this frame to the left middle, and we are going to reduce the space between to be 20. And again, we are going to rename this frame. Now, since we are going to be creating related components, we are going to have a parent name, and each state we have a name for it. So now we want to use beach default. So that's the first state. Now I'm going to hold Alt, and this will be state 1. So for my state 1 now, what's going to happen? This is what is going to happen for my state 1. My Kokum will have an expanded card, just like Maserati. Then Maserati will go back to the shrink form like this. Yes. So now I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to duplicate this. Then I will change this to Maserati. Then also I will open the image here and right click, go to my plugins, pixels. Then I'll select the Maserati beach picture. I'll center the image to done. Now what I'm going to do here is to delete the Kokum and I'll come here, I'll copy and I'll paste the Cocoon here. So I'll change this to be Cocoon Beach. Cocoon Beach. Now I will align this vertically. Done with that. Then I will change the image to the Cocoon image that we use. So beach. I think we use this. Yes. So let me center the image. Fine. Perfect. So that's state 1. State 1. So state 2, we are going to do the same thing for state 2. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to delete this and we are going to come here, copy and paste it here. We are going to move it to center. Now this, we are going to delete it and we are going to come here, copy and paste it here, but will be the third one. So now we are going to change the text to Ilashe and we are going to center the text vertically. Then again, we are going to open the card and we are going to add the respective image that we use for the shrink card. So we are going to use it for the expanded card. We use this. So now we're going to center it again. That's the Ilashe. So the third state will be also, we are going to delete this. Again, we're going to copy this, paste it here and move it. Then this, we are going to delete. We're going to copy this, dump it here. So this will be landmark, again centered vertically, and we are going to open the card and select the 2 images and replace it accordingly to the image we use. And I think we use this. I'm going to select all these states and we are going to click on create component set. So it automatically change it to a component set and we can rename the property to be expanding card. Again, you can change the name here to interactive card. So what we are going to be doing is to switch to prototype and we are going to select each card and add an interaction to it. So the first card that we are going to be selecting, from the default will be this Cocoon. So we are going to add it to this place. Then we are going to, the action we are going to be taking here will be on click and it is going to be smart animate and it will be ease in and ease out, and we are going to change our time to 500 milliseconds. Then again, we are going to select Ilashe and add it to where Ilashe is big. Again, leave the interaction. The same thing for the last one. And also, we are going to move to the second state, which is state 1. Again, we are going to select this and add it back to this. Then we are going to select Ilashe, add it to this. Then landmark, add it to this. Again, we are going to go to state 2. State 2. Now we are going to be selecting first the Moserata, add it to this. Then again, Cocoon, add it to this. And landmark, we add it to this. Then finally, this. So that's state 3. We are going to select Moserrat, then add it back to this. Cocoon, add this back to the expanded card. Then Ilashe, add it to the expanded card. And we are done with the prototype. So for us to see what we did, we are going to create a frame, switch back to design. Then we go to our asset and we are going to drag our component on it. Now let me reduce the size of the frame so we can see what we did very well. So then we are going to click on the presentation. Let's reduce the size to fit to screen. So we see what we did. So that is the magic we created. That is how to create interactive component card in Figma. My name is Bayode. If you like this video, please hit a like button and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, peace out.